Welcome to Raising Vibrations with myself, Simon. Today, everyone, I'm going to be continuing with my Uranus series, and we're going to be focusing on Uranus in Aries or Uranus in the first house, okay? So anybody that has Uranus in the first house or has Uranus in Aries, or in fact actually has any aspects that Uranus is making to Mars, this will kind of give you an indication of what the symbolism might mean in your astrology chart, okay? So the first thing I want to bring to your attention is go check out the introduction video. I highly recommend watching that because it does give you a lot of information about the nature of Uranus itself and what it actually symbolizes within the birth chart. It gives you an opportunity to really ground yourself in the perspective associated with what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So I highly recommend watching that first and then coming over and seeing what the actual symbolism means personally for you in that way. All right? Great. So, and then another thing as well is that whenever you are having like Uranus move through Aries, which everyone at this point in time is actually having, or Uranus is making any aspects towards your Mars in your astrology chart, this video is applicable in that sense. Okay? Great. So what are we looking at here when we're looking at Uranus in the first house or in Aries? Basically, when we're trying to understand, how do I put this across? Like whenever Uranus is making these aspects or is in that space and it's in Aries, we're looking at a new direction that is basically being formed. Okay, there is a new pioneered direction that is allowing yourself and your soul to go in a new direction relative to your individuality. So Uranus will represent your individuality, something that is completely unique to yourself. And what will happen is that when it's in that sign, you are pioneering. The soul in this lifetime is looking to create a new direction relative to its individuality. So what will happen here is that you'll experience this almost this gut feeling of special purpose. And there is this special purpose that you're wanting to fulfill. Yet at the same time, there's a sense of like, you're not really sure what that special purpose is. And so therefore you have to actually act on the gut instinct of which direction to go into. And this is really deep in some ways because Uranus is part of the zodiac that reflects the outer planets. So the way that you're really going to experience this in this situation is more along the lines of like following random patterns in your life that over a period of time actually manifest a coherent like sense of structure. You know what I'm trying to say? So when you have Uranus in the first house or in Aries, for instance, and you're pioneering that, it's like the direction that you're going in your life has very sporadic, literally directions. The journey for you is very sporadic in that sense. And over a period of time, you get to understand that, right? You get to understand it makes sense. So it's a new direction. You're pioneering a new direction. You're allowing yourself to have this new sense of special purpose, and you're trying to find out what it is in that way. Now, when Uranus is aspecting that sign, what's going to happen also is that there's a kind of structure within yourself, is that you feel like you are on top of the world. You feel like you have the superhuman power and that the sky's the limits. Now, this sometimes can be really, really traumatic in some cases because what Uranus does is it creates this space of going into the future and really breaking free and allowing your new thought forms to come in. And Mars, or Aries in this particular instance, is saying, right, let's just do it. Let's just go. Let's just go. The energy is so inertia orientated. And you'll feel like you can do anything. And then you'll recognize over a period of time that there are limitations. In other words, you do exist on the physical plane, and there are physical limitations. There are Saturnian laws that you are bound by. So you recognize through trying, like say for instance, you have this really, really sort of erratic type of dream that you wish to follow. And you later on find out that there are certain limitations associated with that, but you only come to that awareness of that limitation once you've like really gone into the process to the point where you've exhausted yourself and nothing's manifested from that, right? So it's interesting, Uranus in the first house will correlate to that. I also want to give you, before I go ahead and just end this video, some insight into what the symbolism can mean in terms of like trauma signatures and such. be very gentle and very careful when it comes to like really sort of aggressive behavior, and you're definitely accident prone. Because it's just like, hey, I'm going to behave in an unedited way and then learn from the environmental feedback that that wasn't a good idea. So there's a lot of sort of like a lot of go energy, a lot of war energy in you, in that sense. So sort of try to allow yourself to when you're going to act, just give yourself a little bit of thought processes. Just say, okay, hold on, is this going to be safe? You know, in that sense, this is generally a type of person that will be associated with, the stunt man. Definitely a stunt man in that sense. Okay, great. I hope you enjoyed this Uranus in the first house video. And if you have not seen any of the other videos in the series, the Pluto and Neptune, please go check them out right now. Other than that, please come over to my website, simonvorster.com, and check out all the stuff that I have over there, everyone. Other than that, great. Have a great day. Bye-bye.